I am now on the MTK hotline, and I'd like to welcome a very good friend of the show. His name is Mr. Rick Sepe. He's the man behind WNJH Radio in Hamilton, New Jersey, and they carry the Mop Tops and the King every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. We're very happy that they do. Rick, welcome to the Mop Tops and the King.
Well, thank you, Steve. My pleasure to be with you today.
It's a pleasure to have you. Once again, I'd like to thank you for carrying the Mop Tops and the King. We really appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's our pleasure also. It's a very popular show on Sunday morning, so it's great to have you, and you do an outstanding job producing the show each week.
Well, that's very kind of you. So how are things going at WNJH Radio?
We're doing good. We're in our fifth year now. We started this in 2016, off and on, and then in 2018 I went full-blown, and it's been good ever since. And I know I said 5 years, but it's been 5 strong years with our listenership and everything. And last year we were lucky enough to hit 100,000 listeners.
Wow.
Appreciate you because you're part of that 100,000 listeners because of your show.
That's impressive. Growing up, did you always want to be a radio guy?
Yes. Quick story on that. My father, who came to the United States in 1957, did a radio show in our hometown, which is Hamilton. He started it along with another friend in 1965, and it was the Italian program, where they played all the Italian music, where they read the Italian news, because back then technology, of course, not like it is today. So then in 1969, that gentleman decided not to do it anymore. My father took over, and that was also the year I was born. So I practically started going to the radio station at the age of 5 with him every Sunday morning for 3 hours, and that's how I fell in love with radio, because I got to learn the ins and outs, as I call it, the old-fashioned radio stations, not today's radio station with all this new technology.
Right. Well, that's great memories with your father.
Yes, it was. It was the father-son day, as I used to call it, because it was our time. Mom stayed home, so it was the two of us for 3 hours, enjoying it and secretly teaching me how to speak Italian at the same time.
Interesting. I'm half Italian. I don't know if my listeners know, but both my grandparents on my father's side are from Italy, and of course my father is 100% Italian. So tell us about your hometown, Hamilton, New Jersey. I did some minimal research and found that you're the blueberry capital of the world.
We legitimately produce the most blueberries in the season within the United States. We have always been known for that. We also do peaches, tomatoes, and other vegetables, but blueberries is the thing that's known for Hamilton. We are exactly 30 miles from either Philadelphia or Atlantic City. So if you're coming over the bridge from Philly and you take what we call the Atlantic City Expressway, you're going to go right through my town in order to get down to Atlantic City, and then vice versa.
It's farm country, I guess, right?
Yes, primarily farm. We have a beautiful downtown area with a lot of old buildings, with a lot of shops. We do have Route 30, which is a major highway that goes across the whole country. That's in our town also. That's the highway side. But we were also known at one time for many town was the hub of South Jersey, because basically everything came through our town, depending on which way you were going. Philly, Atlantic City, or even New York. You had to go through Hamilton.
Okay, it's time to get down to business. Since we are an Elvis and Beatles show, do you consider yourself more of an Elvis person or a Beatles person? Or are you like me? Do you like them both equally?
That's hard to say. I love the Beatles and I love Elvis. Then again, I became more of a Beatles fan with the last song that was released, with the last recording of John Lennon's voice. And as much as some people think the song is not so great, I loved it. I actually cried listening to it. Just thinking of John Lennon, if they were still alive, what they could have done as a band.
Right. That's one of the questions actually on my list, what you thought of the song, so I got your answer. I think it was a mixed bag at first when I heard it. It's really grown on me. So
Yes,
I think with what they had to work with, I think they did a fantastic job.
I totally agree.
Yeah. Growing up, did you ever
But
watch any of those Elvis movies?
yes, yes, my mother was a huge Elvis fan, so there was no doubt about it. My favorite Elvis movie is Viva Las Vegas.
Ah,
I just not because of the lovely female in the
yeah.
show, just the music itself, and I love the song Viva Las Vegas. I just I adored it.
We're speaking with Mr. Rick Sepe. He is the owner and operator of WNJH Radio in Hamilton, New Jersey. Rick, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. I hope to visit Hamilton someday and we can meet.
Please do. The studio door will always be open to you, my friend.
And the fact that you've had 100,000 listeners last year, that is an amazing accomplishment for the station.
Yes.
And, I congratulate you on that. Can we send you off with a song of your choice, any song at all?
You know what? Let's do the Beatles' new song, if you don't mind.
Oh, not at all.
Since we talked about it, I would love to go out with that song from the Beatles.
Okay, Now and Then. Rick, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for carrying the Mop Tops and the King, and we wish you all the best at WNJH.
Thank you, Steve.